Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 9. We have been reading the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada to text 29. So the question was raised by Vidur, why was Dhruva not very pleased? And that Dhruva was feeling that, he began his devotional service with a material desire. In this verse, Maitreya replied to Vidur that Dhruva Maharaj, influenced by a revengeful attitude towards his insulting stepmother, did not think of mukti, nor did he know what mukti was. Therefore, he failed to aim for mukti as his goal in life. But a pure devotee also does not want liberation. He is a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, and he does not demand anything from the Lord. This position was realized by Dhruva Maharaj when he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead present personally before him, because he was elevated to the Vasudev platform. So Dhruva Maharaj was feeling a bit unhappy. He was saying, I started doing devotional service because I wanted something, not because of love of Krishna. So that's why he's feeling some kind of regret. He's understanding. Now he's able to understand that the pure devotee does not want anything except to be situated in this loving relationship with Krishna. Each of us has an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. And the way we can revive that relationship is by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So the Vasudev platform refers to the stage at which material contamination is conspicuous by its absence only, or in other words, where there is no question of the material modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And one can therefore see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because on the Vasudev platform one can see God face to face, the Lord is also called Vasudev. So the Vasudev platform is the Shuddha Sattva, where the soul is purified now. There is no contamination. The soul is not bound by the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance. The soul is free. So he's situated in his own glory. And so this platform is called Vasudev platform. And at this stage, one can see God face to face. Vasudev platform. And that's how the Lord is also called Vasudev. Here Prabhupada is mentioning. So this is liberated platform. This is liberated means that the soul is no more entangled with the three modes of nature. And Dhruva is not entangled.
So is it
Dhruva
the
Maharaj is
Brahma
the man.
Bhuta? Is it the
Yes.
Brahma Bhuta platform? The
Yes.
same?
Yes. Same?
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So the Brahma Bhuta platform is the platform of liberation. Yeah. And then he's coming to the Vasudev platform. So at this platform, he is able to see Krishna because he's doing devotional service. Yes.
Okay.
So at Brahma Bhuta cannot, right? Brahma Bhuta, it is liberation, mukti only. But then this is ahead of Brahma Bhuta.
Yes. So then you continue to do pure devotional service from Brahma Bhuta platform and come to Vasudev platform.
Okay.
And can see God.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
So Dhruva Maharaj's demand was for a position so exalted that it was never, at least this is what appears from here. Huh? This is what it appears. This is that it's beyond that, beyond the Brahma Bhuta platform. So then Dhruva Maharaj's demand was for a position so exalted that it was never enjoyed even by Lord Brahma, his great-grandfather. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is so affectionate and kind towards his devotee, especially to a devotee like Dhruva Maharaj, who went to render devotional service in the forest alone at the age of only 5 years. That although the motive might be impure, the Lord does not consider the motive. He's concerned with the service. So Krishna did not see that Dhruva is engaging in devotional service because he wants something. Krishna is just saying that Dhruva is engaging in devotional service. That's how Krishna is with us also. We may offer something to Krishna because we are told to do so, but Krishna does not see that. He sees the act. Oh, this one, oh, my dear so-and-so has come to see me, is offering this flower to me. Krishna sees that. But if a devotee has a particular motive, the Lord directly or indirectly knows it. And therefore, he does not leave the devotee's material desires unfulfilled. These are some of the special favors by the Lord to a devotee. So Krishna is very kind, Bhakta Vachan. He's very, very kind. He's always fulfilling the desires of the devotee. Dhruva Maharaj was offered Dhruvlok, a planet that was never resided upon by any conditioned soul. Even Brahma, although the topmost living creature within this universe, was not allowed to enter the Dhruvaloka. Whenever there is a crisis within this universe, the demigods go to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, and they stand on the beach of the Milk Ocean. So the fulfillment of Dhruva Maharaj's demand, a position more exalted than that of even his great-grandfather Brahma, was offered to him. So Dhruva Loka, as we have been hearing, it's a Vaikuntha planet within the material world. So then that means everyone who's staying there is already a pure devotee, is already liberated. There was no conditioned soul living there. So even Brahma also has a material body. So Brahmaji also cannot stay there. And so then that's how Krishna has fulfilled the desire of Dhruv, that he's getting a planet even where his great-grandfather is not allowed to live. Anytime, whenever there is a problem which Brahmaji cannot fulfill, he tells the demigods, okay, let's go to the Milk Ocean. And then at the beach of the Milk Ocean, he will offer prayers to the Lord. And sometimes they can see the Lord, sometimes they cannot see the Lord. They will just hear the words. Here in this verse, the Lord is described as Muktipati, which means that under whose feet there are all kinds of mukti. Muktipati. We want liberation, we should pray to Krishna. Because liberation is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. There are 5 kinds of mukti: Sayujya, Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, and Sarshti. Sayujya. Sayujya Mukti, does anyone remember what is Sayujya Mukti?
The same form of Krishna. Sarup, that
sorry?
is Sarup. Hello?
Yes.
The Sarup is the same form of Krishna. Sayujya, Salokya is the same place as Krishna. Samip on the same planet. Then Sayujya is, I think, the same opulence.
Sayujya has to merge into the effulgence of Krishna.
Okay. So then Shrishti is the opulence, no?
Sarshti is the opulence. Yes.
Okay, opulence. Okay. Sayujya is to merge in Krishna.
Yeah.
So that is
Samipya
what
has to be in close association of Krishna.
Okay. So Sayujya is the kind of mukti that all the demons got by when they got killed by Krishna?
Many of the demons. Yeah, many of them. Even Shishupal. The Shishupal's soul is coming out of the body of Shishupal, and everyone is seeing that it's entering in the body of Krishna. Yeah. So out of these 5 muktis, which can be achieved by any person engaged in devotional service to the Lord, the one which is known as Sayujya is generally demanded by Mayavadi philosophers. They demand to become one with the impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Lord. In the opinion of many scholars, this Sayujya Mukti, although counted among the 5 kinds of Mukti, is not actually Mukti, because from Sayujya Mukti, one may again fall down to this material world. So once we get Sayujya Mukti, the position is not very stable. It's still not a permanent position. Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, and Sarshti, yes, over there, it's permanent. But from Sayujya, we may still come back to the material world. So the position is not a very permanent situation. Although we may be there for a very long time, but there is still a tendency to come back. This information we have from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 32, wherein it is said, Patanti Adaha, which means they again fall down. So that's the reason the devotees want to make a want to revive this relationship with Krishna. They want to have this, loving relationships are very, very close to us. We enjoy to have loving relationships. And the devotee knows that he has an eternal loving relationship with Krishna, and he wants more than anything else to be situated in that relationship, to act in that relationship. That's the reason the devotees does not care about any kind of liberation. And of course, being situated in a relationship with Krishna already begins from the liberated platform. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. So it already begins from the Brahma Bhuta platform, that he says, Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param in chapter 18, text 54. So the monist philosopher, after executing severe austerity, merges into the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. But the living entity always wants reciprocation in loving affairs. Therefore, although the monist philosopher is elevated to the status of being one with the effulgence of the Lord, because there is no facility for associating with the Lord and rendering service unto him, he again falls down into the material world, and his service propensity is satisfied by materialistic welfare activities like humanitarianism, altruism, and philanthropy. So what happens is, we just said that each soul has this loving relationship with Krishna. So we may be elevated to this Brahma Jyoti, and we may have that consciousness that now I have become one with the Supreme. But what happens is, because the soul, the dharma of the soul is service. That is the dharma of the soul, always engaging in service. But in the Brahma Jyoti, there is no opportunity to do that. There's no opportunity to have relationship, or there's no opportunity to render service. And so that's the reason from the Brahman platform, from this platform, then the soul comes back to the material world to fulfill this desire of service. That this service can never be taken away from the soul, just like water is always liquid. It can never be taken away. Sure, we can put some chemical and make the water into ice, like we put it in the freezer, it will become ice. But if the water is left at its natural state, it's always liquid. Sugar in its natural state is always sweet. Salt in its natural state is always salty. Similarly, the soul in its natural state always serving. So that's the reason, even from such a elevated platform, even the soul comes down. There are many instances of such fall downs, even for great sannyasis in the Mayavad school. Therefore, Vaishnava philosophers do not accept Sayujya Mukti to be within the category of Mukti. According to them, Mukti means transferal to the loving service of the Lord from one's position of serving Maya. So this is the Vaishnav definition of mukti. What is it? That we are now, right now serving Maya. We are under the modes of material nature. We are doing as the modes are telling us to do. You know, the modes, they drive us crazy. Sometimes goodness, sometimes passion, sometimes ignorance. And we are serving the modes. But what a devotee does, he transfers his service to Krishna. That is liberation, because he's no more under the modes. So he's under the control of Krishna, under the control of internal energy, spiritual energy. That's liberation. So our Lord Chaitanya also says in this connection that the constitutional position of living entity is to render service to the Lord. That is real mukti. Jivera Swarupaya Krishna Nitya Das. Lord Chaitanya immediately points out what is the position of the soul. Jivera Swarupaya Krishnera Nitya Das. That is real mukti. When one is situated in his original position, giving up artificial positions, is called mukta or liberated. So the artificial position, we have so many upadhis. All those upadhis are related to the body. I'm a man or a woman, I'm a husband or a wife, I'm a student, I'm a boss, I'm a worker, I'm this or that, you know, so many positions. But those are all artificial because that's related to the body. So being situated in the original position, understanding I am part and parcel of Krishna, I am servant of Krishna, then he's called mukta or liberated. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is confirmed. Anyone who engages in rendering transcendental loving service to the Lord is considered to be mukta or brahmabhuta. So anyone who is engaged in pure devotional service is understood to be on the Brahman platform. He's already realized he's already on the liberated platform, the pure devotional service. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that a devotee is considered to be on the Brahmabhuta platform when he has no material contamination. In the Padma Puran, this is also confirmed. Mukti means engagement in the service of the Lord. So Padma Puran is also telling us what does liberation mean? Means serving Krishna. Service to Krishna is liberation. Because that is the soul, that we are acting without the false ego. Our false ego tells us, why should I serve anyone? That's the false ego. When we give it up, we understand our position. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. I'm servant of Krishna. Let me engage in his service. The great sage Maitreya explained that Dhruva Maharaj did not desire in the beginning to engage in the service of the Lord, but he wanted an exalted position better than his great-grandfathers. This is more or less not service to the Lord, but service to the senses. Dhruva Maharaj was hurt. He wanted revenge. That's the reason he wanted a great kingdom. And so he engaged in devotional service. Even if one gets the position of Brahma, the most exalted position in this material world, is a conditioned soul. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna, right from the hellish planets to Brahmaloka, all are places of misery. So even up to Brahmalok we can reach. It's not easy to go there, not easy. But even if we go there, it's still within the material world. Still we are subjected to old age, death. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati says that if one is elevated to real, pure devotional service, he considers even great demigods like Brahma and Indra to be on an equal level with an insignificant insect. So this is what Krishna also says. What's that? Sama sarveshu bhuteshu, seeing all the living entity equal. That is a pure devotee. Pure devotee sees Brahmaji, Indra, and even an ant with an equal vision. He may deal with different people differently. That's different. But he's seeing them equally. The reason is that an insignificant insect has a desire for sense gratification. And even a great personality like Lord Brahma also wants to dominate this material nature. So he can understand that the ant is also, there's a soul in there, in the body of the ant, and also in the body of Indra or body of Brahma, there is a soul. And just based on how the soul has used or misused his free will, he's just in a different body. Sense gratification means domination over material nature. The whole competition between conditioned souls is based upon domination of this material nature. Sense gratification means domination over material nature. The whole competition between conditioned souls is based upon domination of this material nature. Modern scientists are proud of their knowledge because they're discovering new methods to dominate the laws of material nature. They think that this is the advancement of human civilization. The more they can dominate the material laws, the more advanced they are. That's what we think. Modern civilization is a proof of that, because we are dominating nature, right? Oh, it's so cold. Let me invent a heater. It's so hot. Let me invent air condition. Of course, it's good. We are used to such things. Can't live without those now. But by this, then we are thinking that we are greater than material nature. We are greater than God. You know, we start thinking that I can do anything. Dhruva Maharaj's propensity in the beginning was like that. He wanted to dominate this material world in a greater position than Lord Brahma. Therefore, elsewhere it is described that after the appearance of the Lord, when Dhruva Maharaj thought and compared his determination to his final reward, he realized that he had wanted a few particles of broken glass, but instead had received many diamonds. So he says that he feels that, oh, I was just looking for broken glass and now I've gotten the real diamond. That's how this material enjoyment, material world is. We are running after this broken glass because we don't know anything better. This is all we know. So that's why we don't want to give it up. But the more we engage in hearing and chanting, the more we will realize that the true happiness is with Krishna, is in our relationship with Krishna. That's our real happiness. As soon as he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he immediately became conscious of the unimportance of his demand from the Lord to have an exalted position better than Lord Brahma's. I mean, he saw Krishna. Now he's seeing the Lord face to face. What more can you ask for, you know? After all, that's all what a devotee wants, to have a personal relationship with Krishna, engage in personal service. So then he's saying, oh, I just wanted glass, and now you're giving me diamonds. When Dhruva Maharaj became situated on the Vasudev platform, due to seeing the Lord face to face, all his material contamination was clear. Thus he became ashamed of what his demands were and what he had achieved. He was very much ashamed to think that although he had gone to Madhuvan, giving up the kingdom of his father, and he had gotten a spiritual master like Narad Muni, he was still thinking of revenge against his stepmother and wanted to occupy an exalted post within this material world. These were the causes for his moroseness, even after he received all the desired benedictions from the Lord. So this is the reason he is unhappy. When Dhruva Maharaj factually saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there was no question of a revengeful attitude towards his stepmother or any aspiration to lord it over the material world. But the Supreme Personality is so kind that he knew that Dhruva Maharaj wanted these. So now that he's seeing the Lord, he's completely, everything is gone. He doesn't want revenge anymore. He's seeing Krishna. And so if someone says, I've seen Krishna, then we have to see if there's any changes in that person. He should come to the platform of pure devotional service because he's seen Krishna after all. Krishna is the purest of the pure. So in his association, we also should become pure. Speaking before Dhruva Maharaj, he used the word Vedaham because when Dhruva Maharaj demanded material benefits, the Lord was present within his heart and so knew everything. The Lord always knows everything a man is thinking. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita also, Vedaham samatitani. So our thoughts, we think nobody knows our thoughts. It's so good, nobody can see what my thoughts are. Nobody can read my mind, but Krishna can. Krishna can. He knows. The Lord fulfilled all Dhruva Maharaj's desires. His revengeful attitude towards his stepmother and stepbrother was satisfied. His desire for a more exalted position than that of his great-grandfather was also fulfilled. And at the same time, his eternal position in Dhruva was fixed. Although Dhruva Maharaj's achievement of an eternal planet was not conceived of by him, Krishna thought, what will Dhruva do with an exalted position within this material world? Therefore, he gave Dhruva the opportunity to rule this material world for 36,000 years with unchangeable senses and the chance to perform many great sacrifices and thus become the most reputed king within this material world. And after finishing with all this material enjoyment, Dhruva will be promoted to the spiritual world, which includes the Dhruva Loka. So for 36,000 years, Krishna allows him to rule this material world and then gives him Dhruva Loka. So Krishna knows how to fulfill all the desires in such an expert way. He got his revenge. He got a kingdom greater than his grandfather, great-grandfather. He went to the spiritual world. He got everything. So Krishna is the expert. We simply have to approach him, that's all. He knows how to expertly fulfill all our desires. Did anyone want to add anything?
The part where we read that he said that he was asking for the pieces of a mirror, like kaanch ke tukde, but in the return he got the diamonds. That is so beautiful that all these things, all his demands, all his desires are compared to that. Like what he wanted, I wanted a kingdom greater than even my great-grandfather Brahma. And everything is compared to just the broken glass pieces. That means that that's not real. But then unknowingly he received the diamond. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, that's how Krishna is, right? So we should hold on tight to the lotus feet of Krishna.
And that's because he reached the Vasudev platform, no? That's why he could see all
that's
this.
why he can see, yes. Because he engaged in devotional service. So he's able to see Krishna. So the pure devotee, he engages in pure devotional service, he can see Krishna.
So that means 36,000 years he ruled in his dad's kingdom.
That's right.
And then he was promoted, huh?
Yeah.
Then he was taken to the Dhruva Lok. Because that day Guru Maharaj was saying that, 36,000 years he ruled in Dhruva Lok. So I was a bit confused.
Okay. No, here. Guru Maharaj also said here.
Okay.
Here, and then he went to Dhruva Lok, and Guru Maharaj said he's still living there. And then when...
Okay, I got confused then. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. God Bhagavatam. Yes.
Krishna, so Sayujya is the Brahman platform, right?
Sayujya is to merge into the effulgence of Krishna.
Not the Brahma Jyoti. That is the Brahma Jyoti, right? That is the Brahma Jyoti.
That is the Brahma Jyoti. That's right.
So that's the Brahma Jyoti platform. Okay.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.